Okay, when you start your day with a grateful heart, light illuminates from within you. So how do you intend to start your day? I want to believe it's going to be a wonderful one. So a beautiful morning to you. Just try to start with a grateful heart. And so to the Almighty God, we say thank you. To the life He has given unto us, we say thank you. To the gift that He has given unto us to be able to sit like this, we can see you, can see us. We can look around one another and we can say, wow, this is another day that He has given unto us, a new week. The first one in the month of November 2024. It's a beautiful morning. So thank God that you're there, we're here. Happy, happy new week. Okay, this is Galaxy Television. And the program is Family and Values. My name is Olori Adejoke Adobe David. Family and Values is a program that is all set out for you and I to have a reminder, an opening to come and, you know, the way you clean your home when you want to get all the dirt out, you open the carpet, lift up the chair, bring everything out. Let's do that. That's what we do here on Family and Values. And it's not just about you, it's all about me, it's all about Joy, it's all about everyone in the studio and those who are watching us irrespective. So a beautiful week, a beautiful day it is. And so like I said, start a new day with a smile that will illuminate from within of you. And even as we start today, my friends call me Olori AJ. Today is going to be another wonderful day. I'm not here alone. All you just need to do is to join us on all our social media platforms. Make sure you're not missing any. From the National Digitalized Station 741, the AVO application also carry Galaxy Television. Don't forget we also have Galaxy Television application. So we are on the go. You can equally get us on O Prime app. So you are not missing out. Whether you are under the sea, in the water, as long as there is data and as long as there is light, you surely have Galaxy Television because we are here to reach out to the stars. So I have a beautiful, dashing young lady sitting next to me. She's all looking like the people from the Riverine area this morning. Her hair just suddenly grow, and it's so growing and falling to the ground. So I'm so happy to see her looking this dashing this morning. How are you, Princess Jemimat?
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm fine.
It's good to see you too. I hope you had a wonderful weekend.
Leave the story of the weekend.
I'm not leaving it.
No, just leave the story of the weekend. But we are here. We thank God we are here. You're looking all good.
You too. You are so beautiful. This man, I'm blowing you all the kisses. If I don't do that, who else will do it?
Who else will do that?
Not even the escort sitting next to me can do that.
Nobody will do that except
okay
you.
now.
A very good morning to our esteemed viewers. It's a great week and we are happy to have you this week on Family and Values. Trust me, it's going to be another educative one this week. Don't miss any of the topics. My name is Princess Joy Ayo Abu. Yeah, you know the way the Abu sounds, right? Yeah. Hope you all had a restful weekend. It's always a pleasure, you know, being on your screen this morning. I don't take it for granted and I'm grateful for everyone. So we are welcoming you on board this week. Enjoy the show, relax with us. Trust me, you know how we do it on our fellowship, our little fellowship. And like I say, when you see these pretty faces on your screen, it's time for Family and Values. Welcome to the show.
Okay, so welcome to the show. You know, one beautiful thing about life is you can't buy it.
Yeah, you can't.
It can't be paid for. Even when you stay in the hospital, we have many people out there right now going through one pain or the other in the surgery. The family looking out for money. Some even got the money, but they couldn't.
You can't buy it. You can't
They
buy
tried
it.
everything.
Yeah,
so it's good for us to always appreciate life. And wherever you have someone around you, thank God to all our crew, our team here on Galaxy Television, from the MCR to our editors, to Kalista, to our guys, to Chief Steve Ojo, to Mr. Taslim, Mr. Dewale, Ogadjoli. We appreciate all of you. For last day, we no leave you ahead. That one very important.
Very, very
you
important.
know, we love love you to all our eagle eyes. Thank you guys. We love you without you being here. We cannot do everything. So we are not leaving you out. Social media.
We appreciate them.
Before they send my picture up.
Because they'll not say, people don't talk about we appreciate you.
We appreciate you. We love you. Thank God we are all here again this week. We pray we're going to have a splendid and a wonderful day and a week loaded and power-packed. So on that note, do you have anybody to shout out?
No, I don't, but I just want to send my condolences to a pastor friend of mine that lost his mom October 30th. So this is Pastor Shola Uyibo. I'm saying we are sending our condolences from family and values. The Lord will strengthen you this period. Amen. 70 years, you know. And yeah, you say it's time, but then it was an unexpected one.
Yeah,
so we are wishing you all this period condolences.
And God will strengthen and comfort the family. Yeah, that's just it.
So every time we are sending shout out to, we should also send,
yes,
for those
who are grieving. It's very important. Yes, it's very, very important, and it goes a long way to show that someone still remembers that we're here. We cannot overlook it, but it will surely come, and we just need to embrace it because God holds all up there. So as we go into our program this morning, I want us to please invite as many people as I know our children are back in school, and thank God for their life. Thank God that they are doing fine. We are going to reap the benefits of their harvest by the grace of God. Like somebody will say, we will not eat their harvest when we don't have teeth to enjoy it.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, you will still have teeth. You'll be able to break all the chicken bones, all the malu bones, and eat it, enjoy it. When they make pepper soup for you during the cold, you enjoy it. You know, people like Barrister sitting next to me, sitting next to me. So we will all enjoy it, all of us. It's time for us to go for a mini feature. And we'll be back with our topic, and our guest is right here, seated with us. Join us, don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Welcome back. Today, the 4th of November 2024, we're looking at our topic. The topic is challenges of juvenile institutions. We also call it a correctional center. For the young ones, those who are adolescents, those who are not up to the age of 18. And this morning we have someone in the house who is going to enlighten us, go deep into the law, help us out, and also give us his own view, his experience, and what he feels, because he's a biographer and editor of several law reports, a current chairman of Professional Development Committee of the MBA Lecture Branch, in person of Kola Peters, Esquire. It's so good to have you this morning.
It's also my pleasure. I'm grateful.
Morning.
Good morning, ma.
Before I could get this or that to come here this morning,
good morning to
he
you.
sanctioned me.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be here. And also, I think it's a greater privilege to be seated in between two beautiful women.
Okay.
And that reminds me of Jesus when he was on the cross. And I just hope that
you're saved, right?
I'm saved.
No,
you are saved.
You're saved.
You're saved.
Okay, so I have a tradition of always picking stuff
She's
from
a
my
picker.
guests.
She's a picker.
I've been looking at you since. I won't go for your wristlet.
Go for
I'll
his
go
tie.
for your bracelet. No, what do I need a tie for? Come on.
Sometimes
for the bracelet.
it makes you look good.
So you're going to party with your bracelet before you leave. That's your party gift.
Johnny.
Now I'm looking at Barrister. I'm looking at your eyes and he's like, whoa, for real?
For real?
I feel that the reverse should be the case.
No.
Because I'm just here.
Now that makes it different. That makes it very good because you're my guest. Now you should get my.
What I'll give you instead of this, I'll give you my glasses.
No, I don't want
that.
That
would be lovely.
That
would
It's a Marc Jacob. And I'm not advertising. It's actually very.
It's not going to fit me.
Okay, so as we go into the business of today, challenges of juvenile correctional center, juvenile institutions in Nigeria, I want to ask, do we really have juvenile correctional centers? Are very, very active and effective in Nigeria. And how effective? How many are they? Do we have them in all the 36 states The federal, you're a man of the law, so I'm asking all this because I know you're a biographer. I know you like writing, you like reading and all that. Also, what are their functions?
Okay, first let me say that in Nigeria there are 3 types of juvenile institutions. We have what you call the remand home.
Okay.
We have approved homes, and then we have buster homes. Now, these 3 signifies that there are delinquencies in the society. It tells us that the young ones in the society are unclean, and they have become endangered by virtue of the fact that they commit crimes like adults do. So that is why it became necessary to establish these 3 juvenile institutions. So when you hear juvenile institutions, it tells you that it's a correctional center. It's a place where offenders, felons, people who commit misdemeanor, young people who, the whole idea is that since we have adult correctional centers, like it used to be prisons, in those days we call it correctional centers. So since we have for adults, it would be nice to put juvenile where the adults are, so that they don't get further corrupted by the practices and acts that are going on there. So to your second question, which is, do we have sufficient? How many do we have in Nigeria? It's a shame. I will say that in the remand homes that we have in Nigeria, I'm not sure we have up to 10.
Wow, 36.
Lagos State alone has 2. I think about 8.
Wow.
Yes. And that's a shame. And it tells us a long story about the administrators of our country and those people who are meant to be in charge of the social welfare of our nation. It doesn't speak well at all. And most of, when you see those, for instance, those little children that were brought to court last week, they were actually brought from prisons. They were brought from prisons.
Not from juvenile.
The Bostal homes, we have, how many we have? I think we have one in Abeokuta. We have one, if I get it correct, we have one in Ilorin, and I think we have one in Kaduna State. I don't know if it's Kaduna or Kano State. But in all, these 3 together, there's no provision for more than one, if you combine the total thing. And so we're talking about, if you look at the statistics in Nigeria and the number of youth that we have more youth in Nigeria than even the adults. And so the challenges are that, are there no offenders? So if they are child offender, what do you do? Where do you put them? That's the result is what we saw last week. Of course, we have approved homes. Approved homes are either government owned or private homes. There's one that I know particularly. The one in Abeokuta is called Kadaf. They have done much to take people, particularly people who are young men and women who are involved in drugs and other social activities or antisocial activities that were affected, and their parents personally can actually take them there with the aim of getting them corrected and to see if they can change their orientation. I know some universities here that once you are caught, particularly with hard drugs or anything, before you can do anything, you have to go for rehabilitation, which is the purpose of the rehabilitation. Again, the remand homes that we have in Nigeria are far and in between. And the people that are, and I just want to draw the government's attention, if they can listen to me. It's very important that they do everything to support private initiatives. It's very, very important because these children are, as they say, are the future of Nigeria. And if the future or the supposed future is corrupted, then what future are we looking at? So that's the challenge. We don't have adequate preparation. We don't have adequate homes to correct, because that's the essence of having this home, to correct, to rehabilitate, and to bring them at par, to make them to behave so that they can be useful for the society.
Okay, now I'm getting a bit emotional because we are talking of juveniles, and what I saw last week actually caught my attention. Now let's talk about the mental health of these juveniles. And like what we saw last week, I know that there will be a lot of mental issues going on around them. Why are they here? And the mental health they face in those correction centers, how can it be addressed? Now, looking at what we saw last week, it was, as a mother, I actually felt this touch, like having to leave kids in that, and these are youths, like what you said. So I'm sure they have processes of mental health that they are going through right now. And so what are those challenges and how can it be addressed?
There are more than, if we start from now till tomorrow, we perhaps will not be able to complete discussion, because the challenges of juvenile institutions are so many, and particularly public institutions like the one I mentioned, the Buster homes and the remand homes. It's so fortunate that these children are made. I've been to the one in Abeokuta, and I must say that without it's not the people there. They are even ill-motivated. One of the challenges, the social workers, the people who are supposed to be looking after these children, are ill-motivated. The facility in that place is, and particularly if you have been to, I remember I visited a prison in Belgium, so about 3-4 years ago, and one of the things I saw there, an eye-opener to me. I said, okay, so why is it difficult for us in Nigeria to do what is going on here? Because children are made to be productive. I even had to buy some of the products that they made within that prison, the children. So what we have in Nigeria here, or what we have in the few places I've been to, and which is a replica of what's going on in other places, is that the facilities there are non-existent. The children sleep on bare floor. The sanitation, the sanitary situation there is absolutely abysmal. It's just not right. But those are some of the challenges that we are facing there. Some of them, even the people, like I said before, the people that are supposed to be in charge of them, they are not trained. They are not trained. They don't have that. I mean, you expect that because of the intricacies involved in juvenile delinquencies in Nigeria, and then because we have a large number of children involved in delinquencies these days, then the government should take particular attention at providing the necessary facilities and education and training for those who are taking care of the children. But what do we have? Nothing. They are not the feeding. Oh God, it's just something that is not so. Like I said, it's just horrible. And unless we begin to look inward and see how we are going to make a change, then there's no future. And then the institutions that are supposed to correct they now become a breeding ground for greater crime. So those children went in being bad, and then come out being worse. And they wreak havoc on the side. Why do you think we have a lot of young children doing kidnapping these days? If you arrest 10 adults, you see 2 or 3.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the way it is now. So those are the challenges, and I think there are still many more. There's a Child Rights Act that have been one of the challenges that I noticed, that there's a Child Rights Act that has been promulgated, or rather established by the National Assembly. And you expect all the states of the Federation to take interest in that. Unfortunately, of all the 36 states of Nigeria, only a few states, including Lagos State, kudos to the legislators in Lagos State, they've been able to enact it. And that's why you see that Lagos State is a little robust, more robust in the care of, and I'm not trying to speak on their behalf, because they also have their own challenges too. Yeah. But they are far better than what is obtained in other states of Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. It's time for us to go for a short break, because I know he knows much about our production. He's also one of those people who is into law production. So it's time for us to go for our short break. Go anywhere. We're still talking about challenges of juvenile institutions in Nigeria. We'll be right back. It's still Galaxy Television and the program is Family and Values. We've been talking with Scholar Peters Dokpamo Esquire, is the chairman of the MBA branch of the Professional Development Committee of Ikeja branch of the MBA.
I'm not the chairman of the MBA.
No, don't mistake it. So, like we've been talking about challenges of juvenile institution in Nigeria, and one thing strike me again: how can this correctional institute prepare the young ones? You're talking about traveling out and you decide to buy some of the products made by those juveniles in a particular country at that time, because you just want you are encouraged and you wanted to, like, wow, this is amazing. Now, can we say we have the same thing? Because with the likes of what you have said earlier, that some of the people who are even with them, some of them are not professionals. Definitely they're supposed to have counselors, they're supposed to have people who are mental health certified people around them to help them. But how can the Correctional Institute prepare these young ones, with your own view and your experience and your kind of profession? How can they help them to come out to be independent even after leaving? Because we find out that some of these young ones, even their parents will be ashamed to bring them back to the home by the time they are released from whatever term they have been sentenced to. Some of them at the end of the day even become worse, like you said. So what things that is expected or can be done to help them to have an independent life? Sometimes they say, but you people, we are not saying, we are saying, we want to repeat it again. We want you to help us. We want you to use your experience to bring this to light. For as many who are out there who are looking, who might want to, okay, let me start one. You can ginger somebody up this morning by that.
Thank you very much. Well, it goes without saying that the intention of having these juvenile institutions, the intentions are very noble. Very noble. It includes rehabilitation, it includes education. They are meant to have teachers who teach them, some of them who opt to go to school. They are meant to go to schools. They have teachers within that place, and then they will classify them according to age and their intelligence. 1, 2, 3, GSS 1, 2. They are meant to write exams. Apart from that, some are meant to learn some vocations. Barbing, hairdressing, some of them, all skills. And they are meant to have that facility within. So how do you make them to come out better than they went in? One, the government must be ready to spend a lot of money. First, raise the standard of that place. I don't know if you have been to prison before. It's just horrible. That's to put it mildly. And then the Buster home, nobody cares.
Can you explain the Buster, the approved homes? What are the characteristics or the advantages? What is offered? Because we have three major you mentioned.
Are actually to detain young children between the age of not exceeding 18, and they are meant to be detained pending the hearing of their cases. And then also after their cases, if they are below that age, they will be sent back to serve their terms and remands. Then the approved is actually another correctional place, but not necessarily for crime or infractions and misdemeanor. It's basically people who are delinquent, who are abusive beyond parental control. You understand me? There are having challenges. Parents are finding difficult to control the children, and then you take them there, and the intention is to, one, some of them are religious, some of them are basically educational, and just to bring them to that point where they can be useful to society. While the Buster home, actually Buster home is more of it's correctional for, I think the age limit to that is about 22, where you see young children who have committed offense, particularly offense like murder and all that they had. So they are felons and young felons, and who to put them among lesser offenders will be a little too much. So they are sent to that place. One, the same purpose, the same essence, the same intention to correct them, and then of course to make them to serve. I have one, a little child who is about 18 or 17, who had an altercation with his friend while they were playing, and the next thing this young boy did, carry cordial and then hit his friend. Wow. And the friend died. Of course, and unfortunately, one other challenge that we face is that there's a lot of delay. A lot of delay in the cases. The courts are overwhelmed, I must say, because there are a lot of cases like this, and the courts are overwhelmed because one, it takes. Remember, most of the cases, because we have limited number of postal homes. We have only one within Ogun, Oyo, Oshun. Wow. The other one is in Kwara State. And so all the children and the court, imagine they have cases and they have to bring them from Abuja each time they have cases. Wow. It makes it difficult. It makes it very. So the government has to do a lot more than that. I don't know why, because these institutions, I don't think we have established anyone after independence. Most of these institutions have been in existence before independence, yes, by the Oyimbos that were ruling us. So we need to establish a lot more postal homes. We need to improve the facilities, and then we need to train the people who are taking care of these children. Because if they are not trained and they are made to, they just go there and say, well, we are working with what we have. And at the end of the day, Nigeria will happen to those children.
Nigeria will happen to those children. Joy, over to you.
Okay, now, in response to what Lori asked, sometimes those kids are created and discharged, but because, like you said, the delay in the process, they've been there for a very long time, and then stigmatization plays a role. And then parents, are they themselves, these young juveniles, ready to be accepted back into the society, to even go back to their homes? There was a time I was doing a documentary of why we have so many of these young miscreants under the bridge, and one told me, said, I can't face my family. I don't know how to back. Now, are the homes ready to accept them back? I said, okay, yes, you've done this, now welcome back. Is the society ready to take away stigmatization and accept these young ones back? Because, knowing that somebody's son has been, you would definitely want to guard your own kids from playing with that child, because they still have that mentality like, he might end up there. So are they really, the young ones themselves, ready to face the society and return back home?
Well, the question should have been, is the society willing to accept them? Because honestly, there's no one fatal solution to this situation. The government, a lot depends on the government and what they intend to do with the children. The government must, first of all, there must be sensitization. She mentioned something, she talked about stigmatization. A lot of these children, they call them names. And you know what that means? Once that child, instead of coming out proud to say, look, okay, I'm sad, but I'm a better person. You understand me? They become worse. And Nigeria will suffer for it in the future. So, again, I'll put it that, for instance, the Lagos State government, they are doing a lot in this area. Though the law they're doing is not sufficient, they still need to do more. We must kudos to those social workers. They are working their hearts out to make sure that those children are off the street. And of course, they are working within the context of the available resources that the government is providing for them. So the government needs to do more. They encourage these people that are doing this work. They must pay a very good attention to these children. There must be a rehabilitation center. You see, the Nigerian Army has something. It's called Rehabilitation Depot. It's somewhere in Oshodi that I know. Now, what that means is that after you have served, your orientation as a soldier is like this. But the society goes like this. So when you are discharged from the army, and you want to go back into the society, then you have to send to that place where you unlearn some of the things that you have learned over the years, and then you learn new things about how to integrate it. The government needs to do that to these juveniles that are coming out of the homes. They must make them, first of all, they have to, you talk about the mental health, they must ensure that these children have that mental strength to carry. You don't just throw them, because by the time they come out and the society attack them,
I'm not prepared to receive them.
Then okay, so where I'm needed, where I'm wanted, I'll go back there. Then what does he do? He commits another crime, and then he becomes, there's a word that they use, I can't remember right now, but he becomes someone who now goes in and out of the and he feels more comfortable inside than outside, which is not meant to be. So the government needs to do a lot to assist, to make sure that the rehabilitation program is well established. You don't just release, okay, after spending 7 years in Bossa home or remand home, and then you
just push them
out just like that
without any rehabilitation program. So that becomes necessary.
Oh God. Esther, I want to ask this. When we talk about the government, we cannot just face one side and not face the other too. Let's come back home now to the parents. With your expertise, with your professional experience and the cases you've handled that, goes in and out within this discussion of today, this morning, I want to ask, how can we raise boys that don't need to bail out, or girls that we don't need to bail out as parents? Well, with your experience.
Well, as a father, and also as an adult, I know that there's so much responsibility on the parents. Some of these responsibilities are worked by the parents. How do I mean? Most of us have, we have to leave home by 6 a.m. And these children have to look after themselves. They have to find a way. Some of us even try, we'll drop them off in school. And what happened between the time we drop them till 9 when we return home, nobody knows. Now there's a lot of peer pressure. Some from very broken homes, some from very,
very decent,
and they influence. Remember, these children are very, very, they are very impressive. They have, or rather, impressionable. They are very impressionable. What do? Children, their mates are in class, and they see the way he's carrying himself. Maybe one is using iPhone or something, and then you get attracted to that. How did you do that? Oh, you don't know what is going on. I did this, I did that. Without you starting, and then smoke. These days, drugs. We do not have, I don't know, but we don't have an idea of the danger that is inherent in our society. Because the number of drugs, I can't even mention. The type of drugs that are circulating in our society is beyond measure.
Beyond measure.
It's crazy, and who are taking it? And statistics will show that more women, young women, take drugs more than men, more than young men.
Yes.
So it gives us a cause for concern. So the parents, a lot of us have failed in our responsibility. One, we are runaway parents. Okay, I'll give you a holiday. Where do you want to go? And you think that money can buy that parental guidance that that child needs? You are wrong. How often do you sit down with your children and tell them, look, if you do this, this is the likely consequence? Because whatever you don't tell them, the internet is telling them.
Yeah.
And one other thing is that we don't have control over what our children are watching.
So true, yeah, on the phones.
We don't have. I can say that we have more female child prostitutes in Nigeria now than we ever had. Because we see 50-year-old, 40-year-old already in prostitution. And some parents are actually waiting for their child, a girl child, to bring money into their homes. You see your child carrying iPhone 18 or 14 Pro Max. I'm happy. My daughter is. We will hear that some parents assist their children to go abroad so that they can prostitute.
Yes.
True.
So these are the challenges. So a lot depends on not only the government, because I can't leave everything to the government. As a matter of fact, I always believe in the principle that the government has a minor role to play in the life of the child than the parents. Because the foundation that you lay in your child will depend the height that it will go. If you make a child to be available for use by they will be educated. But if your child, I have a girl child, I remember always sitting, particularly when she's going back to, you're going to meet a lot of people. As you go to school today, you are going to meet people, your class that are from good home, some from bad home, and you are going to hear this, you are going to hear that, but you have to be able to decipher which one you to take. If you don't do that, somebody else will educate your child. The voice or the voices that your child hear will determine what the child becomes.
The voices that your child hear determines what the child will become. Now, let's talk about foreign impact on our society, on kids, especially with the rise of the internet, the AI, the social media. And then we have, everybody wants to do copycats. What is happening outside the country, they want to bring it here. The ones that will send their kids go outside and learn, and then that one will come with the influence of, oh, you don't know what is happening, and then they want to influence. What has the impact been in terms of this whole juvenile crisis we're fighting?
It's tremendous. It's tremendous. Because you have to also know that most of us in Nigeria are always trying to do or copy what the Oyinbos are doing. And like somebody said, it's not always everything that is good that comes from the Oyinbo place. There are also many bad things. And because we open ourselves, those who don't have in the days before internet, we had television and what you are watching. That's why you see our women, they dress seductively. And the thing is, it's
normal. It's the norm. It's the norm.
If a young girl dresses and her breast is not, before it used to be, started with cleavage. You see the cleavage, but now you see the whole thing. And then I tell my daughter, I said, look, you know what? You see gold. If you go outside there, I say, go and bring a stone. You can bring a stone. Do you need to work hard to get stone? He said, no. Okay, if I said there's gold in that place, go and bring it. Will you just go there and be able to bring it? He said, no. Okay, so what do? You have to dig and search. I said, the same way, if you consider yourself to be stone, everybody will pick you on the spot. But if you think you are a gold, and somebody will need to search you, dig you, before he can find you. And when that person finds you, he will value you. And so you have to make yourself each way. So we need to create, parents need to ensure that we censor what our children are watching. The internet, thank God there are devices that can help us to limit what our children are watching. We must ensure, because see, and then the music that they listen to, there's so many horrible music out there.
I was even coming to that. Now let's talk about the influence of celebrities.
Influencers.
All of them, everyone wants to be like one, so everyone wants to be a role model. And those people, as far as I'm concerned, they are no role models, because dressing and everything, it's no for me.
Yes, you have, first of all, you have what energy is driving that celebrity. There are some good celebrities, you have to admit. But there are a lot that are very horrible. And that still brings us back to parental control. Look, you must let your child know that this celebrity that you see, just take a look at that. You can see her tie. You can see her bum bum. I watched one who was sitting on top of it and was naked, practically naked. And then somebody, it's unthinkable that my child will say that's my role model. It's horrible. Apart from the fact they sing little songs that make no meaning, that have no bearing to the society, we expect that they will talk about, they will sing about how what will benefit people. But instead they are thinking about how your big is something and how your boobs, it's just all nonsense. So as a parent, as a father, as a mother, as one in charge of words, it becomes essentially important that we take cognizance of these things and ensure that we do not expose our children or allow them to be exposed to these things. The celebrities, the influencers, as they call them, I don't know what that means, but they don't have right over my own child, and they shouldn't have right over your own child. But what that is that you are allowing outsiders to train your child. You are allowing that person who is perhaps under the influence of alcohol or narcotics to determine the future of your child.
Wow. So who do you allow to, to decide or to train your child for you in absentia? Who? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. Because if we work and we try as much as possible to give them what they deserve, the best, we're looking for the best for them, and we're not there to also put them in check, then we are sending them to a juvenile correctional center that may, at the end of the day, remold their destiny, their life, their personality. What do you hope to achieve by training your child? Where do you want your child to? I want to say a big thank you to our guests this morning. We've been talking with Kola Peters Dokpamo. He is a biographer and editor of several law reports, current chairman of Professional Development Committee of MBA Ikeja branch, and we're so delighted to have you this morning.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I know Mondays are very busy for lawyers, and
yes.
to have you here.
We are allowing him to go now. After now, we have used him finish. He should just go. We are finished with him. He should now go to the next phase of today. By the grace of God, it will be a favorable one for you, and God will continue to keep you and keep your home and your family.
Opportunity to be here. I hope we have learned one or two things. I just want to pray that because this your program is actually very good, I pray that those who are in authority are watching and they are taking notes to see how they can change the society for the better. And if you're a rich man or you're comfortable in your home and you think you don't have any of this thing, those children, they will come after you one of these days, and it will be very bad. If they don't see you, they will catch your child or your children or your wife. And so, if you're in a position of authority to change this thing, this is a call to you, to everyone, to come together and save Nigerian child. God bless you.
Oh God,
wow,
thank you for that last parting words.
A call to everyone to come together to save the Nigerian child. We can't emphasize on saving the Nigerian child, our children. We used to say it here that you don't just train your own child alone, thinking you're training. If you train your child will get into the society. Who does your child mingle with? As you train your child, you train the next child around you. You train the kids around you to have a better community and a better society. Let's try to do our jobs as parents. That's all I'll tell you. If you want to be a parent, be good parents. A very good one at that. All right, that's my parting word to you this Monday morning, because of course it's a busy Monday. It's a busy week ahead. Thank you very much for being a part of Family and Values with us. My name still remains Princess Joy Ayo Abu. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, when we show up on your screen again.
Okay, so I believe today has been a wonderful one, a beautiful start at that. And I want to believe it's going to be a beautiful start to you also with our discussion this morning.